What is up, everybody? To Oversteve here today, and we're gonna talk about a Sony fanboy who has finally seen the light. What I've been saying for the longest, that the Sony fan base is probably the most toxic fan base. He has now found the revelation, and it's the Sony fanboy that I did a video about before. He was the guy from Go Down Memory Lane who had the situation with he says Forza Horizon 5 working on his Xbox One X. So I did this video like 5 months ago, and this is why his name sticks out to me. But there's a little snippet from this previous guy's tweet. Let's see.
I can't get into the fucking game.
What? Look at that. Yeah, so with this video, he was a little bit way too happy, as this is entitled, this Forza Horizon 5 wouldn't work on Xbox One X. So people were saying like this dude was faking it. Yeah, so this is a big Sony fanboy who has definitely been in the spotlight for being a huge Sony fanboy troll. So he said he has finally said, hey. So even if this guy who's a big Sony fanboy can say, hey, Xbox has a more positive fan base and less toxic. PlayStation fan base have an above it all mentality, even when it's not warranted or earned. This is in the PS4 era. PS5 still has a lot to prove. So even he has seen the light and said, hey, these Sony guys are super toxic right now. So who would have thought that this whole God of War DLC, calling God of War DLC, would have blew up into this, but Sony guys are now seeing the light. I'd have been more shocked. I'd have been more surprised if the doctor, the Sony pony doctor, or the console passion guy would have been like, it's too much, and this is too much toxicity now. Even though he docked somebody's information, docked the patient's information on the operating room. If that guy would have came out as well, this would have been extremely hilarious. But you got one guy who is seeing the light. So let's see what people have to say about this guy making this statement right here. Who's a big Sony fan? Well, let's see what we got to say about this right here. This guy's about to get kicked out the coat. Careful. He says he is trolling like a mofo. He'll be back at it usual by the weekend. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe he will be back to do the whole trolling nonsense. Who knows? There's toxic people on both sides. Obviously, over PlayStation fanboys very rarely speak positive about the preferred platform in PlayStation. Everything they post is almost always about putting down Xbox and its fan base in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, that's kind of true. Let's see. No, my friend, I have to disagree with you on the PlayStation toxicity. It's beyond any other fan base out there, and there's no way to disagree with it. I definitely think Xbox has by far the most toxic community. Really? Really? This guy says Xbox has the most toxic community. That's interesting. Think about it. Lots of races and personal attacks full of hatred. Yeah, I agree PlayStation fanbase has a lot of toxicity as well, but don't make the mistake to mix up fans and toxic fanboys that are on both sides. Okay. I think people are still living in last gen. It was very lopsided last gen, and for good reason. It's the new gen, and many things in gaming in general has changed specifically with Xbox and PlayStation as far as where they are headed in strategy. If either one gets too far ahead, okay. I just wish we could all just love gaming. Why can't I love Halo and God of War without someone questioning me due to the plastic and metal I own? I don't know. You gotta pick one side or the other. You can't just be like unbiased, I guess. I don't know, or be neutral in the whole situation. Because if you criticize either company, you can be labeled a fanboy. So it's kind of weird, but I guess it's just how it is. PlayStation, when is the God of Ragnarok DLC going to launch? We are so hungry for something, anything. Please buy from Software and Kojima and make your masterpiece games $140. $7 is too low. We are not on welfare. Some Sony guys might actually think this nonsense. Like they would probably legit want Sony to raise their prices to be double the price now. Just another day on Banned Island. So apparently this one Sony fanboy, his account is deleted or something. And he says he didn't get banned. He took a break away and disabled the account to get away from all this nonsense. Yeah, so you got Sony fanboys taking breaks now from this DLC nonsense. Like, wow. Man, that one comment calling this sequel to God of War DLC caused all this nonsense. It's just like, wow. I'm amazed you can put out unbiased posts like this. Also, regardless, I totally agree. Both fan bases have a bunch of bad apples, and I'll never disagree on that. Whilst the PlayStation one is far more toxic, though rightfully so when seen. Well, little Xbox still last gen, but I'm hopeful. Let's see. Their rebrand has begun. I can't really say for certain. There are some weirdos on both sides for sure. I just mute them all, weirdo Xbox included. I love doing a little teasing, but at the end of the day, gamers are all more alike than not. I just prefer to have authentic folks in my circle. Well, the PlayStation fan base is way bigger, so you're going to have more bad apples. And I'm surprised that there's enough positive PlayStation YouTubers. I don't know, because of the player base is a lot bigger. I mean, the PC has the biggest player base, so you don't see PC guys acting like this. You know? I mean, at one point in time, we had the whole PC mouse race thing, but even they calmed down on that. You never hear about the PC guys like saying the most toxic stuff like these Sony guys are. So I don't know. I don't know. The whole larger player base thing is more bad apples. Is a good point right there. This man must have gotten his account taken over. Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe that this huge Sony fanboy is like, "Hey, the Sony guys live way too toxic right now." This tweet is pretty accurate about the PlayStation side. They won't understand it since they're in it. It only took you 4 accounts to see it. Wow. Less toxic, and yet you see a lot of Xbox spreading fake news about PlayStation. Spreading misinformation isn't toxic. Toxic is PlayStation fanboys calling people names because someone likes the game or system that they don't. That is toxic. I don't know the spread of information they talking about. Like what information was misspread on about PlayStation. I don't know what he's talking about there, but the PlayStation fanboys have scolded me because I personally enjoyed The Last of Us 2. I don't understand them. Shaking my head. Xbox gamer here. I got a PS5 2 weeks ago, and this happens. I am quite surprised. Yeah, the people Chris are the God of War developer. That is pretty insane. That's still kind of insane when you think about it. Like, geez, the guy who made the series you're clamoring about, and you curse him out. Like, geez. Xbox didn't kill itself before launch either. This time, very different situations. You got knuckleheads on both sides, which is fun and all, but you also have people who take it above and beyond the memes and trolling. Pony's gonna do this to him? Shame. Isn't that like the Game of Thrones thing? Okay. They both are as bad as each other. Nah, I mean, I would say the Sony guys are way more toxic, but there's bad apples on each side. That's obvious. But Sony guys are definitely going above and beyond with some of the stuff they post. PlayStation was less toxic when it was having a bigger success, and Xbox was more toxic. But now Xbox is having bigger success. Its fan base is less toxic, and PlayStation's fan base is more toxic. Okay. PS5 still has a lot to prove. LOL. Kinda does. I mean, it does not. I don't know why you put this in quotation marks. It kinda does still. I mean, the ponies are like Celtic fans. Okay. To who? Y'all, we have been having fun. We got hella games to play, and it's only gonna get better in the summer. So they saying this guy's high. Based on what? The screaming fanboys? I mean, that was just not the screaming fanboy. This guy was yelling at the top of his lungs, being super disrespectful to the guy who made God of War. Like, acting like a complete teenager having a tantrum. Like, that was a grown adult doing that. So, I mean, that kind of is like a realization point right there. Somebody like realize what are we doing here at this point. Like, these guys are super toxic. Curious because we, the PlayStation fans, think the same with you guys. Toxic AF. Does positive include defending everything? That makes sense. Let's see. I mean, 10 years later, and you're just now seeing how toxic PlayStation fanbase is. Glad you acknowledge it, though. Neither fanbase is perfect, but later PlayStation fanbase has been off the rails, even for a console war on Twitter. Wait, didn't I see you in the comment section back of the attack on Jaffe for his own opinion? The PlayStation community on here is a joke. Let's see. Bro, stop twerking for the bots. What? So he's just saying his comment is comparing him to twerking. Okay. All I see is Xbox accounts making up new narratives we can call it games, DLC trash, console selling ripoffs. For the console is melting, SSD is a lie. Sony's a fraud, Jim Ryan is lying again. They all twerk for AP and J-Rock most positive. So this guy's real butthurt right here. Oh man. Although I've seen some nasty immature stuff from the Xbox community, all three have their fill of it. We need to stop this type of behavior. We have 3 outstanding consoles. Stop the console war BS. Grow up, all of you. Wow, an actual good take from this guy. There are toxic fans on both sides. I just think I see more PlayStation fans going to the extreme. So as soon as we see the other Sony guys find this, he said they're gonna have you be faced with a 6-month suspension and you're on administrative leave until the hearing. I got in my office. Okay. A reformation is taking place. Okay. I'll be damned. This dude, I guess. Okay. You have been hacked. Why do you think this guy gotta be hacked to actually admit this stuff? Like he can't acknowledge this stuff is getting way too toxic now. Like you already posted how the other guy took a break and I guess deactivated his Twitter account for a while. The other big Sony fanboy. So they see how it is right now. They see it's like super toxic right now with that community right now. It's like that. I mean, somebody says a game is DLC. It gives his opinion about what the next game looks like, and a dude goes off the rail like that. Like it's obviously super toxic over at this moment. It's super toxic right now. So. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this guy saying, hey. Even this big Sony guy is like, hey, I seen enough. And it was like, hey, this is super toxic. What's going on right now? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below about this guy having this realization right now. Leave a like for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.